Ever feel like you're stuck in a loop of thinking but never actually doing the things that you think about? Like you keep analyzing every possible outcome, but in the end you do nothing about it? That's called overthinking, and it's the biggest killer of action. Today we're gonna break down why you overthink and how it stops you, and most importantly, how to fix it. So there's a simple psychology behind it if you think about it. Like if you ask your question, why do we overthink? You can find dozens of good reasons for it, and I'm just gonna name some of them and explain to you. So one of them, which applies to most guys that are actually experiencing this, is the fear of failure. Fear of failure meaning that you don't want to make the wrong decision. Now I imagine you think a lot about failing stuff that you actually plan out, and that leads you to actually think that your plan is not a good plan. You're gonna suffer severe consequences for that. You're gonna experience a worse outcome and than you expected, and in the end you just don't start because you fear the failure part. And from that arises the perfectionism issue, which means that you wait for the perfect time or plan to start something. Now, if you think about it realistically, if you're a beginner, there's no way you take every right decision. Even the most experienced guys in this area or any area, they're not taking the right decision every time. I mean, you have to experience, you have to know what's right and what's wrong, and you have to learn that experiencing things in the end. So this is all that's about. It's normal to fear failure, it's normal to be a perfectionist. These things happen. It's not something that's in your strength or capabilities at starting something. It's just you need to acknowledge that those are reasons for your overthinking, and that just causes you to not start. It's okay to fail also. That's what everyone does, and everyone fails while starting a business or I don't know, starting something. It's just about your purpose. If you start something, if you're a perfectionist, if you fear failure, it's all normal. It happens. You just need to get over it and actually do the right decision of starting blindly. You need to start blindly, not think about consequences, and just like the skiers do. The best skiers don't focus on the trees around them, they focus on the path. If you focus on the trees, you're gonna hit them, obviously, and if you focus on the path, it's more likely to not hit any trees and actually go for the end goal and achieve it faster. Now, there are also problems like too many choices, which mean there are more options to make decisions harder, which basically in the end cause you to just take in consideration a lot of options, and it's just gonna delay your decision, which would be the same in the end. It just happens, and I'm telling you those problems because those are so common, and I've been through those, and now I'm starting doing something, and I acknowledge those. I'm mostly a perfectionist, but what I'm trying to do is not related to that. I mean, I'm getting over it. I know that I'm doing stuff that it's wrong. Like in this video has cuts because I mumbled. This video has some cuts because I said and whatever too much. It happens. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I don't mind doing this thing as long as I make a video and try to teach someone something valuable. Also, you need to acknowledge that the brain wants certainty. What is certainty? Like, it means the mind wants guarantees, so it keeps analyzing instead of acting. The thing with this is pretty much it's because you need to invest a lot of creativity in something that you start by yourself. Imagine if you go to a job. If you go to a job, you know what to do because you get told what to do, and you can figure out a plan to do that based on the environment that you have. It doesn't require much creativity and it's easier. Now, it doesn't apply when it comes to a business or starting something or going into a specific niche like, I don't know, productivity, sleeping things, or whatever. Like, it requires creativity and you don't actually know what to do, and then there's so many options, and it just delays your thing. You actually start to think about all those stuff, and it's just delaying your start, and that's basically the brain problem of loving certainty. You just need to actually work on your creativity for that. There's also another problem called social pressure. Like for starting a YouTube channel, for example, in my case, there's worrying about how others will judge your decision. Like if some friends of mine are watching this video and are gonna probably laugh at this. I mean, I don't mind. I actually play this scenario in my head so many times because it hurt me in the beginning, and that's why I didn't start. I planned to start this shit so much time before, and it's just all of those problems get fixed for starting blindly. You know, you know what you need to do, you know that you have those problems because I just told you and you actually resonated with them. It's just you need to start and ignore them, and you will see on the way that it doesn't matter that much. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to have fear of failure. It's not a big deal to be a perfectionist. Not a big deal to have too many choices, or the certainty that the brain loves, or the social pressure from family or friends and stuff like that. It's not a big deal. You can get over it just by starting. This is how you fix all of those problems, just by starting your thing. And just by doing that, you avoid the consequences of overthinking, because everything in life has a consequence, and those are pretty harsh. Like, you never start, which is a thing. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. It's just the rule of life. Another thing is you get more stress and less clarity, and then in the end, thinking too much leads to mental exhaustion. You're gonna be doing bad in all of the areas in your life, and it's just something that happens again as the consequence of overthinking something. Another thing is opportunities that you have, they're slipping away while you're thinking someone else is doing, and basically they steal your money, they steal your future life. And this is something that hurts if you think about it. I mean, you want to have something valuable in the future that is stole by someone else that actually started faster than you did, because they're more like doers than thinkers. Another consequence is basically just regret. You just look back and realize you wasted time doing nothing, and this happens so much because you don't even realize we're already in March, at the half, no, almost at the end of the month, and basically the winter is gone, the spring is almost at its middle. It's almost like we're going too fast. Time is slipping away really fast. We're getting to the half of the 2025 year. It's going so fast, and you're not doing anything. This has to hurt if you think about it. This has to hurt. What did you do this year? Like, if you did something that's really valuable, you're gonna feel satisfaction, and you're not gonna think like the time passes away without you doing anything. But if you think like that, then you're gonna get hurt in the end, because it just happens. Now, we talked about the consequences of overthinking. We talked about why it happens in the first place. Now we're gonna figure out a plan on how to actually get over it and be more like concise about everything that you're going to do from now on. So for the first step, basically the most important thing that you have to do, which I'm gonna mention in a lot of fucking videos, is setting a decision deadline. That means that you need to give yourself a strict limit to decide. This is something that's mandatory for everything that you're doing. Deadlines are important. They get you going. Second step after the deadline is you would probably be ending up with a list of options that you have. You need to limit them. The second step is to limit your options. That means that you need to reduce choices to make decisions easier. Then after you limited your options, you're gonna move on to the next step, which is basically one of the most important steps that you have. It's the third step, is focusing on progress, not on perfection. Taking action is way better than waiting for the perfect plan. You're never gonna get a perfect plan. Just be honest with yourself. It's not something that you can't know what's perfect if you don't experience things. You just need to start. It's focusing on progress. You need to find the small step ahead of you and then figure out the way ahead on the way. Yeah. One of the steps in between of that, basically, you just need to ask yourself what's the worst that could happen. Like, most fears are exaggerated. If you just ask yourself this question, you actually realize that the outcome of actually starting that and focusing on progress, the worst outcome actually, is not that bad. You can't lose anything. You either win or learn, which is also a win-win situation, which is really favorable for you. Now we're gonna go on to the next step, which is taking small steps. Like, start with something tiny to build momentum. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you can always find like a small step to actually take today, even today, yes, to actually build momentum to where you're trying to go. Now, the thing with momentum is that if you build it, you need to keep it. That's something that resonates to creating accountability, which is basically the next step. Tell someone your goal and they should be able to hold up to it and mention it to you, and in the end you're gonna have like a motivation factor and an accountability factor that will keep you on the go and keep your momentum alive so that you can complete your goals. You just take those small tiny steps and you're gonna reach it faster than you think. So truth is, you need to trust yourself more. That's why you overthink, because you don't have that many confidence in yourself. Your first instinct is usually the right instinct. Overthinking is a habit, action is a skill. The only way to break the cycle is to train yourself to act even when you feel uncertain. There's also one challenge that I have to you. As the end of this video, you just need to pick one thing that you've been overthinking for a while and just take action today. Take a little step. Like, even if you say, I want to make a YouTube video, like, take a little step just to make a script or do something about it. Like, make your channel or tell someone about it to keep you accountable to actually keep going and take those steps until you make your first video, and then go on and make the second, and so on, so on. It doesn't matter if it's with YouTube, it doesn't matter if it's with anything else. It works on all topics, all areas of your life. You just need to take that small step, and you can do it today. You just need to figure it out depending on what you want to do. So yeah, thank you for watching. This would be this video, and until the next one, bye.